What's up YouTube, NCG here, bringing you an updated Vendread or Vendread deck profile. So obviously, Konami are doing what they did last time with the FAs, and they're producing some of the early leaks for the new FA cards. Hopefully that means we're getting new Vendread cards, or we are getting new Vendread cards in Flames of Destruction. So it's time to actually look at what the deck can look like now, and kind of get ready for when the new support does drop. Hopefully we get something busted, or something that just helps with ritual summoning, something like a Necros spell that has not an exact Necros spell, but something that has that same effect, or like a Vendread kind of Foolish Burial, something like that that makes them busted or a little bit better than they are. Regardless, let's see what we've got. So we start off with, believe it or not, very small Vendread lineup. So we've got two rare Vendread Slayers. The main reason you play this guy is because he's one of your two pieces for your pre-preparations of rites. He's still kind of a good card, but he's not the best one by far. The best one is the most recent one we received, which is Vendread Battle Lord. So you ritual summon this card using any Vendread ritual spell, and you banish one Vendread card from your graveyard and declare one type of card, a monster, spell, or trap. For the rest of this turn, your opponent cannot activate cards or effects of that type. If ritual summon card is sent to the graveyard, you can add one ritual monster from your deck to your hand, and if you do, send one Vendread monster from your deck to the graveyard. So this is kind of like its own Foolish Burial in a sense, but it needs to be a bit more consistent. It's also like a mini Shockmaster in the sense that during your turn only, you declare a type and it stops your opponent using that. So it's a nice little protective card for you. We've got the one Vendread Chimera. The artwork is cool. It's a shame the rest of the effect isn't as good. Then we've got two Vendread Hound. These are kind of probably the better ones of the two, which is Hound and Core. So Hound, once per turn, quick effect, you target one spell trap card on the field and banish it. That is if it's used as ritual material on the field. And then Vendread Core basically means that the ritual monster that uses that as a material for a ritual summon cannot be targeted by card effects. Now, it's a shame that they don't all share the same effect. So this one, it shares, if this card is in the graveyard, you discard one Vendread card and special summon it, but banish it when it leaves the field. This one is, if this card is in your graveyard, you banish one other zombie type monster in your graveyard and special summon this card. And then the other ones that we play is Vendread Revenants. This one is, if this card is in your possession, is destroyed by an opponent's card effect, by battle or card effect and sent to the graveyard, you special summon it but banish it when it leaves the field. And then Vendread Stringers. So Revenants gives the ritual monster, you can target a special summon monster and banish it, a quick effect. These are all really good effects, but they have to be used while on field. Whereas if they were used while in graveyard, if they could be banished from graveyard and give that effect, or if they could be used from hand or deck or anything like that, like a card that ritual summon from deck would be awesome, and give the effect to the monsters, then it'll be even better than they were. This one is, after damage calculation, if this card battles an opponent's monster, you can draw one card, then discard one card, which is quite nice. And then if this card is sent to the graveyard, you can reveal one Vendread card in your hand and special summon this card, but banish it when it leaves the field. So, you know, you just need to have the consistency of getting this to grave, and then maybe you can play it at more than what it is at now. Unfortunately, we do have to play the standard zombie engine of 3 Solitaire, 3 Mizuki, and double Uni Zombie. This is purely because they don't have their own right now, and they really do need a flourish of Vendread monsters. The chances are this could be the next kind of Spiral Tough kind of, Spiral Quick Fix kind of deck, where when the OCG officially get it, they go, I know what this needs, and gives it the card it actually needs, and then we have to wait months and months for it. But for now, it's still a very, very fun and powerful deck. So I've changed it up by adding in 2 Zombie Masters. This obviously helps you. You send one monster card from your hand to the graveyard, and then special summon one level 4 or lower zombie type monster from either player's graveyard. So again, you can play like Zombie World in this deck if you wanted to for a bit more of a fun tech. But Zombie Master's just there to unclog some of your monster hands, and then if you've already got a target, you can bring them back, and then either XYZ, Link, or of course have them on the board ready for a ritual material. We've then got, to round out the monsters, the one Gozuki and the one Shiranui Spirit Master. So this is actually a fairly budget build, to be honest, apart from when you hit the extra deck, and every time you hit the extra deck, that's where the money always is. So we've got triple Vendread Origin. This is your ritual spell, and it has a built-in protection as well. We've got triple Vendread Charge. Now this card would have looked amazing as a holo, but you basically send one zombie monster from your hand or face up from your field to the graveyard to special summon one Vendread monster from your deck. You can only activate one Vendread Charge per turn. This is kind of cool. It would have been nice if you could send from the deck instead, because that would then make Sturges a little bit more consistent. Triple Allure of Darkness, because you need the draw power in this deck. And then we've got double preparation of rights. You can play this at 3 if you want to, and 2 pre-prep of rights. Again, you can play this at 3 if you want to. The only issue with pre-prep is it can only be used twice, so it can only be used to search out your Vendread Slayer, not any of your other Vendreads or your Vendreads. And if it could, then it would be played at 3, but definite. But a 2 and 2 ratio kind of works nicely for me. You've got your pre-preparates that you want like turn 2 and onwards, and then you've got your pre-preps that you want like turn 1s and earlier. I am playing the field spell, so double Vendread Knights and the 1 Terraforming. Vendread Knights again is quite nice because you discard 1 card and add a Vendread monster from your deck to your hand. Again, it would have been better if it was send a Vendread from your deck to the graveyard and then add a Vendread or something like that, or revive a Vendread, something like that, and it would have made it a lot better. And then finishing off, we've got the 1 Burial from a Different Dimension and the 1 Foolish Burial. You don't have to play Burial from a Different Dimension. It is a 41 card deck, so that would be one of the cards you cut if you want. But you do banish your zombies quite consistently, so it's nice to be able to banish your Mizuki and then Burial from a Different Dimension and go again, which can add a nice little curve to your plays. Now onto the extra deck for your synchros. We've got the 1 Shiranui Shogun Saga, the 1 Sun Saga, and then we've got the Shiranui Shogun Saga. We've got the Scarlet Red Dragon Archfiend, very, very nice, rank 8. The 1 Void Ogre Dragon and the 1 Cyframe Lord Omega. That's where the money is, unfortunately, in this deck. If you want to go more budget, you can take this out and probably put in another generic level 8 synchro. Or if you wanted to go more ham, I would say take out a Void Ogre Dragon and go in for a second Omega. For the rank 7s, we've got the Black Rose Moonlight, the Black Rose Dragon, and the Clear Wing. So protection, clear board, and again a bit of protection while clearing board at the same time. For our links, we've got the 1 Underclock Taker, we've got the 1 Deco Talker, and then we've got the Borolo Dragon and the Saruja. Again, this is where the money comes in. If you want to make it more budget, or you're on a bit of a tighter budget, you can take these out for like a Topological Bomber Dragon, or of course, you can play in Proxy Dragon and stuff like that. Link monsters aren't necessities in this deck because you don't always flood the board from your extra deck, unlike a 60 card zombie Lightsworn deck, but they're still very, very helpful and powerful to play in the deck. For our rank 4s, we've got the Tornado Dragon, the Baguska, and the Castel. Again, these are entirely down to you on how you want to choose to play these if you want, but these, in my personal opinion, are the go-to rank 4s. More so the Baguska and Tornado Dragon than the Castel, but Castel is still always very, very nice to have. This can obviously be taken out for your Abyss Dweller or a Diamond Dire or anything of that kind of caliber, should you wish. Anyway, that is it for the deck profile. Quite straightforward on that one. I hope this has given you a couple of ideas for the Vendreads. I am saying it now, pick up while you can. They're all relatively cheap. There's no massively expensive Vendread card. And the highest rarity of the Vendreads is your Vendread Chimera, which is a secret, and even then it's not that high or hard to pick out. They're about a 5 or maybe less. I'm just giving you the warning, the exact same with the FAs. Pick them up while you can. Less so the FAs because I don't really have many high rarity cards, but pick them up while you can while they're cheap. Just have them lying around, let them gather a bit of dust, because should they get busted, like, you've got to look at the past. Look at BA, they got Beatrice. Look at Cosmo, they were busted as heck. Look at your Spirals again. All these TCG exclusives will eventually, one way or another, either become dead decks, and because FAs and Vendreads are such low rarity, they're very cheap to pick up, or they become busted for at least a format, and they're worth picking up to give a go, just to be safe, or selling them off once they become busted and you've made a bit of money. So that's my tip of the week for you guys. Anyway, I hope this helped. I hope you enjoyed it. Until next Tuesday, guys, where I'll be bringing you more deck profiles, more openings, or of course, maybe some combo videos if you wish. See ya.